Okay, so I've tried filming this so many times, and every time I film it, I don't like it. So I feel like my thoughts are all over the place and I'm struggling to organize them. So I'm just going to embrace that, and this is the last time I'm gonna film it because I'm not doing it again. So I wanted to talk about what I've been doing since I graduated from school back in June, and it's now March, so it's been almost a year, and I just wanted to document this transitional experience for me. So yeah, I graduated. When I graduated, the day that I graduated, I moved out of my apartment in Ottawa. I left Ottawa and I moved to my grandmother's house. It was supposed to be temporary for a month, but then yeah, my plans got all wonky and mixed up. So I ended up staying at my grandmother's house for like 7 months, 8 months. A lot of time I spent there. And the goal was that I was gonna move to Toronto. One sec, my tea's ready. Okay. So, sorry. So the goal was that I was going to be moving to Toronto, but that didn't end up working out for various reasons. So I was at my grandmother's house, and I had all of these ideas for what I was going to be doing after school. I could have stayed for another year. I should have stayed for another year, but I didn't, because when I was in school I was feeling really boxed in, and as if I was expected to be this very specific version of myself, this very specific I had to sing a very specific way, in a very specific style, and I wasn't allowed to do anything different, and I had to sing everything the way that everyone else was expected to sing things. And I just found myself constantly feeling like I wasn't good enough. I was just feeling very boxed in, and I started to feel like I wasn't even an artist anymore. I started to feel like I was a robot who was, you know, I was very caught up in I wasn't doing it for the right reasons anymore. I was singing for the validation of other people and my teacher, and I wasn't singing because I wanted to express myself authentically. I was singing because I wanted to sound good, and I wanted everyone to like the way I was singing. And it was holding me back. It was really holding me back, like, from progressing. So, I mean, I know that wasn't the intention. It's just how I reacted to school. So, I knew I needed time to heal my voice before continuing school, because I wasn't doing it for the right reasons anymore. And also I had all these other things I wanted to explore, all these other like forms of art that I wanted to do more of, and yeah, but I just had no time. Like, music school took up my entire life. I didn't have time to do anything else. I had a job for a little while, but I didn't even really have time. I had to quit because I didn't have time to work and go to school. I was like very, very consistently busy with school. So I left because I wanted to have time to learn other things, like cultivate more passions, I think, in my life, because there are all these different forms of art that I'm super interested in and want to learn more about, but I've never been given the opportunity to do that because I've just been so busy. So that's why I left school. But I found that when I left, when I was at my grandmother's house, I spent most of the time doing nothing. The entire time doing nothing. I didn't do any of those things that I wanted to do. I didn't work on my singing. I didn't you know, explore any other hobbies really. I just kind of didn't really do anything. I got to spend a lot of really nice quality time with my family. We spent most of our days just like sitting together and chatting, and that's all we did, really. So yeah, and I think I needed to do nothing for a while because of how busy I was in school. I think I was so burned out when I finished that I needed some time to just lay around for a little while. But it was really hard to do that because I don't know, it was just really hard for me to do that. I'm not really used to doing that, and I felt like I was a bad person for not doing anything, like not contributing to society, not being productive. I felt like, I don't know, I was starting to get all of these like really, really horrible thoughts about myself that I haven't really felt in a really long time. So yeah, I was feeling really horrible, which is so messed up because I think I deserve to rest, but I couldn't. I spent all of my resting time. That time should have been really restorative for me, but I spent the entire time feeling absolutely horrible about myself and trying to figure out things that I could do to be productive and to be, I don't know, to feel like I was worthy of existing, to be honest. So I was trying to find a job. I spent all of that time trying to find a job, and when I found a job, I wasn't working enough. I had time to just lay around and do nothing. So I found another job and another job and another job until I was working so much that it was just as much work as I had when I was in school. But this time, the work wasn't something that I absolutely loved, you know. Like when I was in school and I was singing, there were some things that I had issues with, but in the end I still really loved what I was doing, and I was, you know, for the most part really happy. But this time I was doing something, I wasn't even doing what I love to do anymore. I hadn't been singing for months and months and months. I stopped, and I was just working, and I wasn't doing what I wanted to do, and I didn't have time to do anything that I wanted to do. So at this point, when I had, you know, a lot of work, I did end up moving up to Toronto. So I moved away from my family, and I was living somewhere that was kind of like isolating because I didn't have any friends there really. I mean, I did, but I had only a few, and they're all really busy with school and stuff. So I spent a lot of time feeling very, very isolated and lonely, and I was like living this life that I was so unhappy with, work. I was just working constantly. So I quit a lot of my jobs and I moved to New York and that's where I am now. I moved in with my partner here, and I'm really lucky that I get to work remotely a little bit, so I'm doing that. And now I have a ton of free time again, a lot of free time again, and it's interesting how ingrained capitalism is in my mind, because I've always been like a very I do what I want whenever I want kind of person, but I've never had a chance to just not have anything planned before. I've always been in school, I've always had a schedule. And now that I can make my own schedule, I'm finding it hard to, and I'm also finding that most of my days are filled with me feeling like really, really guilty about not planning for a future or not having any idea of a future in mind. I have no clue what I'm gonna want for my future. So I guess going forward, I'm feeling a little bit better now. I'm feeling like I want to start trying to plan my days out. So I'm gonna start, you know, making a schedule for my days like I would when I was really busy all the time. But this time I'm gonna schedule out all my days to be filled with things that I want to be doing. I started singing again. I want to spend more time like really diving into that more, because that's what I want to be doing. I really wanted to share just what the last like few months of my life have been like after graduating school, in case anyone else has been feeling like this or is also in a transitional period like this. I think, you know, maybe we can all feel a little bit less lonely going through this time. Yeah, and I want to document more of my life, more of my experiences, so that I can look back on them, and I guess I just want to enjoy the process of getting to where I want to be, and I think it'll be easier to enjoy it if I hold myself accountable by documenting it. So yeah, if you listened to this point, thank you, and yeah, I hope you have a really, really beautiful week and beautiful rest of your month, and I'll see you soon. Bye.